principal assignment came at the Sakat Elementary, then was moved on to Perkins, served Garden Park two times, then became an assistant superintendent and finally retired. I am here because of one reason. My old lady in her last days asked me to do this again. And I am very honored to represent her because she was my world. I thank you for your attention and hopefully this is the beginning of a new start.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having us here today so we are able to share what our vision and our mission is going to be once we are elected. My name is Kathy Perez Garcia. I grew up on South Coast area. I'm the youngest of 4 siblings. I graduated from Porter High School. My elementary was Canales, my middle school was Falk. I am a very proud product of BISD, and I thank my parents and the educators that I had while I was being educated in the BISD system. I come with prior experience, serving the community as a former BISD board member. I am a proud parent of 3 fine young men. My oldest is a physics teacher. My second one works at the sheriff's office, and my youngest one has a master's in business international and getting ready to qualify for professional golf. All 3 of them attended BISD, and I'm very grateful for the teachers that we had. They attended Egley, Oliveira, and Hannah. And I believe that due to the educators that we've had in our public school system, we've all become who we are currently. I want to say that I am a licensed realtor. I've been practicing real estate for 23 years. I'm very loving, caring, and compassionate when I come to help people that don't understand what they're going into or what they're needing. I am a proud business owner of Pure Body Water, and I will close at the end with how my business is doing, and we are getting ready to go international. We will be servicing, our bottling water will be in Mexico. We've already signed an agreement with Coca-Cola where Pure Body Water will be providing alkaline and purified in Mexico. We also have FEMA contracts and federal contracts and state contracts. So being in the business for 1 year, I will close at the end.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nelda Corrine Torres Rocha. I am the daughter of the late Maria Esperanza Garcia Torres and U.S. Air Force retired Staff Sergeant Juventino Torres of Smyrna, Georgia. I am married to Rogelio Rocky Rocha. We have 4 children and 4 grandchildren. My husband is a teacher at Stell. Our children attended Brownsville ISD's elementaries, middle schools, and high schools where they graduated either from Rivera or Hanna. Our 3 of our 4 grandchildren are attending right now at Paredes Elementary. I served Brownsville ISD as a teacher for 29 years. I taught at Vermillion. Then I went to Falk, Estado, Perkins, and retired from Stell Middle School. Total of 29 years. But I've been working for BISD since I was 18 years old. I started as a substitute teacher. During my career, I participated in various organizations, committees, the EBC as one example. And I've also been an advocate for employees, students. I was an active member, board member of AOBE, TSTA, NEA. I have continued advocacy in my retirement with TSTA retired, and I am here today for the students, for the teachers, for my colleagues. I'm here today because there's several issues, and I'd like to see if maybe coming from the classroom, we could get some policies in place that would help. And the only way to do that is in the boardroom. So that I'm here for your vote, classroom to the boardroom. Thank you.
Oh, this one? Is this one on? Just turn it on. Right.
Right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Minella Peña, and I'm here to tell you that I'm here to serve our children because I have been doing this well, since I was 19 years old. Believe it or not, I started as a den mother at the age of 19 because my brother's den mother quit. So I started serving children since I was 19 years old. My family is from Brazil. My father went to school here. And my brothers and sisters, we all went to Brazil Independent School District. We were blessed to be able to travel all over the country because we also went to school in Aurora, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, Kingsville, Aransas Pass, Corpus Christi. So the different areas of the country we were able to visit. And my interest and my concern has always been help the children and everything else falls in place. I was raised and was told, you want to know where the fountain of youth is? Serve children. You don't believe me? Go look at your teacher from 40 years ago. She looks the same. I have been married for 40 years. I raised 6 children. I'm very blessed that they are very independent, they're doing very well. You know the saying, when children grow up, no me des, just no más me quites. Don't worry about, giving me anything, just don't take anything else from me. And when you do that with children, you raise them, you are blessed that they can do what they can do. And I'm here to serve, to make a difference, and to make sure that the people who are in charge of making sure our children make it and are developed to be able to succeed and keep this country, the #1 country in the world, is by taking care of the teachers and the teachers who are going to take care of them. Once you take care of the teachers and the students and your front line, I'm a big advocate of front line. All my life I've been. Because once you take care of the front line, you're going to be fine. I was a state trooper for 29 years. I was the first female state trooper here in Brownsville, Texas. And it was exciting because I wore red lipstick all the time because they would touch me to see if I was a real girl. Because I knew that if I was a girl and I'm going to risk a man, chances are they weren't going to hit because I was a girl. So I was very blessed that that really did work. I am still currently a commissioned special ranger with the Texas Department of Public Safety. And my only objective is to always serve and make sure that everybody around me has what they need to be able to succeed. Because if everybody else makes it, I make it. So take care of everyone everywhere and you'll be successful at anything and all endeavors that you try. Thank you so much.
Hi, good morning. My name is Erasmo Castro, and I want to thank AOBE and everyone here present today. These forums are very, very important, and they give us the opportunity to have conversations with people you might not be able to have conversations with. So again, thank you so very much. It is unfortunate that several other candidates did not decide, to join us here today. It'd be good to get a general idea as to what the ideas and the beliefs of most individuals, or all individuals that are seeking office, and the reason, the purpose why, they decided to run. I am a lifelong resident of the city of Brownsville. All my schooling here locally was at BISD. I was at Webb Elementary, Cromac, Rosa del Castillo, Cummings, and Porter. And one of the reasons, and we'll talk more about this in a while, one of the reasons that, I decided to again run for Brownsville Independent School District Board is because more than half of the schools that I just mentioned, the ones that I went to, as they are no longer here, they've been closed. And the reasons why they were closed, are very, very well known to us that are in the game. Unfortunately for us, there's a lot of individuals in our community who are not aware as to the reasoning why. What has got us to this place? And that is a great concern. And I have the opportunity to hear all this information from different folks out there because I consider myself a community activist. And you all have shared concerns with me, other folks in the community have shared concerns, and we've tried to provide answers and responses to what has been going on. So I hope that we can continue together to work to make the district better. I know that we have worked in the past before, and I am very, very proud to continue to work with you all and to continue to work with you in the future. Thank you all so much for your time.
Good morning. My name is Tim Ramirez. Good morning. My name is Tim Ramirez. Thank you, AOB, for extending the invitation for this forum, and everybody that's here. Thank you for being here. Some are parents, some are members, and retired individuals. Thank you for taking the opportunity to be here. Like I said, my name is Tim Ramirez, and what I share with the next Vice President of the United States, besides having his first name, sharing the first name, Tim, we both were educators. We both were social studies teachers, and we both coached. That being said, I am a product of BISD. I attended Russell Elementary, then went over to Stell, from Stell went to Hannah freshman year, and then Pace opened and graduated from Pace in 1978. Then went to start my studies at TSC in 78. From there, I went to the Pan American University and graduated in 1981. And I started teaching with BISD. And I started teaching at Clearwater Elementary. From there, we transitioned, sixth grade transition to the middle school, which I went over to Central Middle School. And from Central, when they closed that down, and they moved it over to Stillman Middle School, I went over to Cummings Middle School. At Cummings, I taught for 13 years and coached for 13 years. Had a great time. And it was amazing. It was an amazing journey that I had with BISD. I continue to advocate for our students, and we'll do so in every aspect. I used to, when I retired, I was a consultant with the TSTA, pushing forward RGV Jumpstart for public education. That is number one goal, is to promote public education. Very important. I was a RGV, American Rescue Plan coordinator. Also married to Micaela Escobar. We have 3 children together and 2 grandchildren, active member of Church of Christ. And we continue to advocate for BISD, our students, our parents, and the community as a whole.
Good morning. My name is Farley Trevino, known to most of my students as Coach Farley. I'm married to Laura Lee Trevino. I have 3 young kids. Not young, they're older now. They're all gone. We have an empty nest, but that's okay. So we have 3 beautiful children, Farley Trevino, Farley Edward Trevino, Kayla Trevino, and Donovan Trevino. My wife and I, we've been married for 37 years. I know. It's a long time, but we can do it. And my educational background includes Clearwater Elementary, Central Junior High, Hannah High School, and I attended Texas Southmost College, UT Brownsville, Pan American Edinburgh. I have a Bachelor in Science and Master's in Administration. I worked for St. Joseph Academy right after high school. They asked me to coach there, so I started coaching St. Joe for 4 years while I was getting my education. I've taught in BISD for the past 35 years. I'm retired now. I taught biology, anatomy and physiology, environmental systems, aquatic science, principles of biomedical science, and biomedical innovations. I was a Boy Scout. I was an altar boy. I can go on and on. I was in the Order of the Arrow, a member of AOBE since the beginning of time. And I'm currently retired, and I volunteer at Our Lady of Good Counsel Food Bank. And I'm looking forward to working with everyone at BISD, hoping to enjoy it. I know this is the easiest part, is to run for office, and the toughest part is getting into office. Once you're in office, that's the toughest. So it's easy to, to get voted in. The tough part begins day one. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, AUB, for organizing this forum. It's a good place to start meeting people and talking to them about what we believe in. My name is Agustin Anduiza. I am the son of Captain Roberto Anduiza and Rosalia V. Martinez. I have a brother, Robert, and a sister, Cecilia. One is in education, and the other one is with some company, I don't know. As for myself, I'm a product of BISD. I attended Russell Elementary, then this Central Intermediate, and it was intermediate back then, and then Homer Hanna High School. After that, my education went through TSC, Pan American University, UTRGV, where I finished my master's and everything. My bachelor's is in business administration, and then I went into education, so my master's was in special education. Then I proceeded to go into counseling, and I got my leadership certification. Um, My work experience, I started as a paraprofessional with special education at BAC, the first original BAC under Ms. Paulita Cavazos. Then from there, I became a special education teacher. After being a special education teacher at Falk Intermediate for 6 years, I went on to Cummings. No, I'm sorry, yeah, I've worked at a lot of the campuses from Oliveira, Falk, Cummings, Hannah. Uh, I was an assistant principal at the Brownsville Area College, or the dean there, plus Lopez High School for 7 years. I was an administrator. It's a long history. But as for me, I decided to run for the BISD board simply because I think it's time that people on the board are aware of, okay, my time's up, but thank you very much, guys, and I'll finish at the end.
Okay. So I don't know what time the sound came back on. But again, I just want to reiterate, we did give all the candidates the rules for the forum. And the time limits, every candidate will have 2 minutes to respond. At the end, they will have 2 minutes to give their closing statement. And then they will be able to mingle around the room with anybody who's here. We do also have the elections department here. If anybody would like to come and register to vote, if you're not registered to vote, they are here outside the hallway of the main room that we're sitting in right now. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and begin with the questions. We are going to go in the order of place and then in the order that the candidates drew for the ballots. We're going to begin with Mr. Caballero. What do you see is the biggest problem confronting our district, and what is your goal to address this problem?
I wish my client was here to as well answer that question, because I feel that she's part of the problem. Okay? First of all, this budgetary process that we just went through with regarding budget for the staff, that's hurting our campuses. I get calls that they have positions that they need, they're overworked. And by the way, we have now, the state of Texas created teachers as being number one to be overworked. We gotta look at that. We're losing too many people. We're bleeding talent. Our children are being deprived of that talent, and that is where it's going to hurt it. Our kids right now are performing at the biggest stages in the state, and we can see that from athletics to academics to fine arts. I'm a proponent of all of these things, but not under the current situation that we see. There's actually not just one big problem. We have several. Goals. There's no evidence of school board goals. There's no evidence of the school board setting goals for our current superintendent. There's no direction. We need direction. When I was the principal and an assistant superintendent, goals were always set. I don't see anything happening here. Our budget, school closures were made. That's a big problem right now. You close 3 schools in one area of town, you killed that community. Budgets were enacted, budget cuts have been enacted. The budgetary process showed positions closed, programs for students not being funded properly, and vendors were not cut. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that because our budgets should focus on the first and foremost things that we should be doing. Students. Thank you.
Stand up. So I concur with Mr. Caballero here. The district has been struggling with the current board as to making the right decisions with our yearly budget. I am concerned with a lot of issues. It's not just the budget. You know, paying a superintendents and a salary of 400 and some thousand on a yearly basis, if you do the math, every contract that you've given them, you're depleting your budget. That money should be going into the classroom for our students and for every program that we have to be able to build our district as a much stronger district, just like we were 10, 15 years ago. We have issues with teachers working over 40 hours. Teachers need to have a life also. Teachers deserve the respect. Through every educator that has walked or been part of our journey in life, we are who we are. And I'm very grateful for the education system, or else I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I married an educator, math major. There's 23 educators in my family. And I sincerely care for what's going on in the system because we just don't have a budget problem. We have no direction, like Mr. Caballero has said. We don't have a 5-year plan in place either. So I'm going to say that I'm going to focus on the issues, especially the budget, because we have enough money to go around if we understand our budget. If we don't understand it, that's why we have all this bleeding and depleting and people leaving. Remember, people leave management, not companies. And that's statistics. So when we're losing our staff, it's because management is not the right management at our campus.
You have to stand up as well. What is the biggest problem in BISD? Student academic success. If you have a product that is successful, people will come. That old adage, if you build it, they will come. This is the TEKS for 4th grade. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 different subject areas, about 41 pages of TEKS that a student has to master in 4th grade. However, we are settling for approaches. Approaches means that these children can move on, but with significant support. That means they didn't get everything on their 40 pages of 3rd grade. They're going needing help. Who's going to help them when you keep taking away the teachers? When you keep taking away those people that are supposed to be servicing our kids in the classroom? My biggest concern is that I do not believe some of our board members understand what happens in the classroom. And we can tell because another one of their big problems is, like Mr. Caballero mentioned, the goals, lack of. Their goals are a bunch of numbers. If you look on the website, what does that mean to the community? Parents don't understand that. Explain it to us, please. An educator understands it. Budget concerns, inequitable policy and procedures used that leaves parents, teachers, colleagues feeling disrespected and micromanaged. That's a problem.
I apologize. Again, good morning. Okay, what is our biggest problem confronting our district? And this is the problem that's confronting our country. Overworking our teachers and not letting them teach our children. That is the biggest problem that I see. When I went to school, the teacher was allowed to teach me. The teacher was allowed to make sure that I grew and I knew what I was doing. Right now, we have so many people coming in and telling us what to do. We never had to have a test when I was growing up to graduate high school. You do now, am I right? Who makes those tests? Other people? No, the teachers. Because the company that makes them gives it to the teacher to make the question, correct the question, send it back, and they charge them millions and millions to turn around and test our students. Why do we have tests? Because there's money involved. What is happening to our education system? Everyone's trying to put their money into the piggy bank that is supporting the education system. And in essence, we cut and we do not allow teachers to teach. What is our biggest problem? Not allowing our teachers to teach. Overworking them and just covering them with paperwork, and the child's right there telling them, help me, help me, help me. The teacher needs time to help. This country was made by the best people in the world because we're the only country that allows you to have your child in our education from 6 to 18, or we'll turn around and maybe arrest you and charge you. No other country mandates that we help raise your children. But the only way we're going to help teachers is by making sure they have what they need and not overloading them, overcrowding their classrooms, and then giving them work that secretaries should be doing in an office, but cutting down secretaries in the front office and giving it to the teachers. When are we going to teach the children? Again, I've always focused on the front line. Take care of the front line, take care of the teachers, and everything else you have will fall in place. because this country is the best that it is because of education and their teachers, and let's keep it up and don't let anyone destroy our education system. Thank you.
Biggest problems in BISD, and I know it's very easy to give those softball answers, a lot of the answers that most people want to hear. But the fact of the matter is, the number one problem that we're facing at BISD is that vendors are putting money into board members' pockets. That's the number one problem, and into the pockets of administration. And when you have that happening, you've got a BISD board and a top-level administration that are not going to take care of the budget, that are not going to take care of academics, they're not going to take care of anything else but the individuals that put money into their pockets. And it's clear to anyone and everyone that has been close to BISD that has seen it firsthand. That is the number one problem. We've got to stop bleeding the system. We've got to stop providing these funds that are going to these individuals that don't care about the students, don't care about academics, don't care about the teachers, don't care about testing. All they care about is making a buck. And unfortunately for us, we are faced with candidates that are now that are receiving thousands of dollars from the same vendors that are putting money into the board members that we currently have in order to vote their way for contracts. And let me tell you, we would not be in the situation that we were in regards to closing schools, being $26 million in the hole, and any other situation where we have like 35 students to a classroom. That's ridiculous. We would not be in situations if the current board and previous boards hadn't been getting this money or accepting this money from vendors. Guys, this past meeting, you all saw it, the board members requested an audit. Voted against it. We need an audit. We need to know where we're bleeding. We need to get to the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is the money that is being funneled away from students, away from teachers, away from staff, and being put into the pockets of those individuals that deserve them the least. Thank you.
So there's a list of concerns that we have at BISD. And I put, besides the ones that were mentioned right now, decreasing of enrollment. We have a problem with the decreasing in enrollment. BISD is losing students, but so are the charter schools. And so what's happening is that if we think about it, parents are having less kids. So the issue that we need to address is how to attract those kids at the charter schools. Another issue that we have is the funding inequities. Right now, BISD's in the deficit of 23 million, a little bit over 23 million. They were able to trim 17 million, 10% of that, 1.7 just from the main office. And so it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to cut back and see how we can do the best that we can with the resources that we have. In addition to that, we have our buildings, the roofing, the ACs. BISD is going to have to go out and get a bond and put that in for election, because it's going to take a lot of money to address those issues that have been accumulating from the past 15, 20 years. It's just not all of a sudden the roofs are bad, the ACs are bad. This has been occurring for many years. And so to fix this, to eliminate it, it's going to take a lot of money, a lot of money. But to fix it all is that we need to make sure that we vote for candidates that are pro-public education. Because our governor, Abbott, right now, is holding back lots of money. And BISD is due about $49 to $50 million. Hopefully, when they go back to this year, at the beginning of the year, in January, when they go back to doing what they're supposed to be doing, they do the 2 annual budget. And the 2 annual for 2 years, they're ready to give out to the public schools. We get some money from the state, so we can carry out all our initiatives. Thank you.
Good morning. The 3 main issues that I have, or the 3 biggest concerns, number one, of course, and it's being addressed over and over again, but student retention is the number one thing that I'm concerned with, keeping our kids at BISD. And all my families in the BISD, or was, some of them are still in the BISD. The big joke or concern is, well, when our kids can't pass the tests, we'll send them back to IDEA. How can we do that one? If they can't pass our test, we'll just send you back to again. We can't do it. We got to service all our students. So my number one concern is the retention of our students with an emphasis on career and technology and offering advanced programs for extracurricular activities. Some of these idea schools can't afford or don't provide good, well-rounded extracurricular activities, and the kids need it for guidance. Well, I'm speaking as a coach because we're not only a teacher and a coach and a parent and a counselor, we do everything. So that's my big concern. The other concern I have is teacher retention and shortage in the STEM program. We need science, technology, engineering, and math, and the special ed programs. I know there's a certain percentage that the state allows of special ed kids. Well, that's not realistic because I know for a fact that we have incoming special ed students from different places. And the third concern that I have is achievement gaps and equity. Our district will struggle to ensure all students will receive the same opportunities and support regardless of their different socioeconomic or racial backgrounds. The impact can lead to long-term consequences such as graduation rates, fewer college and career readiness, and the intervention programs. All these require funding, we understand that, and the schools that are closing are the places that have the biggest impact. Thank you.
Good morning. Now, the three areas that I see as being a main concern, everything they've all said here in this forum is correct. Our biggest problem is the budget, budget, budget. Everything falls into there, from the maintenance and operations and the debt. As for we not having money, if I'm correct, we have a $495 million budget approved for this year, yet we received $567 million from the state. So that gives us $65 million in savings. So don't tell me that we need to go out for a bond when we can easily. They just asked for $3 million for the next 3 years for the air conditioning and stuff. It is part of maintenance and operations. You can take money from that. Look at the list. That's right. You're running your home budget. And then to request more money, they said the taxes didn't go up. Look at the presentation given by Mr. Cepedes. Whatever his name is. Look at it. Look at it, because it went up 24 cents or 21 cents. But no, we're going to lower taxes by 1% or 1 point something. No, it's a lie. It's a lie. Look at it, analyze it, and you'll see we are going to pay more taxes. Why? Our values, my value on my home went up $120,000. Hello, well, from one day to the next. If you think you're not going to pay more taxes, you are. Right now, in these days and times, we cannot afford a new bond and get ourselves back into debt. Look at your own home. They want the diffusions where you were going to collect money to pay off our debts. Well, excuse me, I would love to pay off all my debts. But you know what? The reality is you go day by day. You pay your bills yearly for the district. You budget that. Don't try to get ahead of the horse, especially when you're bleeding the taxpayers. That is something I feel very passionate about. No, we don't need that. We need to survive on a $567 million budget, and we can't make it. And we just closed down 3 schools. We're overcrowding. There's no personnel. Okay, sorry.
Very nice. All right. We're going to move on to question number 2, and we begin this question with Ms. Presas. One of the biggest issues confronting the district is the drop in student enrollment. What solutions do you have to help attract and retain students in BISD?
I firmly believe that we have certified teachers, which is a big plus with our competition that's out there. We have programs that our charter schools don't have currently. They've been building based on what we have. They didn't have sports when they first started. Now what are they doing? They're waking up. They're saying, you know what, this is how we can attract the students to come to our schools. I'm going to tell you that BISD has no reason to be losing students if your leaders had it in check. And if some of the parents didn't feel that their children were not getting, just this week, I had 2 parents that started with BISD. They're pulling their children out. I'm gonna tell you why. Because both of them said that there was too many students in the classroom and they felt that their children were not gonna be getting the attention. Okay, so we have to be creative, innovative as a team. I'm willing to work as a team. All of us have ideas. If we bring it to the table and we share it to our staff and to our community, and we market ourselves with what we have, I'm going to tell you that there's companies out there that are struggling and hurting, big corporate companies. They're waiting for districts to go to them and ask, can we bring you into our district? Can we form a program under your company so we can educate, and when the students graduate, they're ready to go in the workforce? It's out there. We're just not doing our work. So at the end of the day, I bring solutions. I bring innovative ideas. As long as we have a team that's willing to work together, we're gonna get the district back on track. It's called good leadership. Thank you.
Thank you. Well said, well said. In 2008, when you were here, we had opportunities for leadership to bring our kids back. One of the biggest problems is, charter schools are taking some of our students, and that's fine. They've been here since 1995 in Brownsville. Is that really fine? Is that really fine? Has anybody checked the charter schools reports, their STAR scores? They're equitable to BISD, which I have a real problem with because they don't report the same number of tests by grade level as Brownsville ISD has to. That's just the way it goes. So my question and my hope would be that as an elected board member, I would like to see the administrative team enhance and create quality academic and extracurricular programs that would motivate parents to return their students to BISD. A little bit of PR and public education to our parents. They need to see what's happening over there. Our community doesn't know. Brownsville has been on a list for years already of low literacy rates. Why is that? If attending an alternative campus that is not a public BISD campus is better, wouldn't we be off that list? Especially if a lot of those kids are going. There's something there we need to do better, and we need somebody who understands, who's been there, who knows. Thank you.
Okay, I might sound like a broken record, but this is bottom line. Customer service, customer service, customer service. We need to define it out all over again in the country. And customer service starts with your teachers, how you treat them, how you believe in them, how you work them. If you take care of your teachers, the students will stay. The students will love coming to school. We are not losing students because somebody looks better over there, someone looks pretty over there, someone has a better building. We're losing students because of customer service. We don't treat the child properly, we don't treat the parents properly. They very politely pick up their child and move away. And I've been listening, like I said, I've been serving this community since I was 19, and I listened to what's going on there. Take care of the classroom, take care of the teachers. Focus on the front line. I have been trying to use a word, I've gotten after for saying customer service. But I always sit in a family where customer service is number one. Take care of the teacher, who will take care of the student, who will take care of the school district. How do we attract children? Treat our teachers the best. Do not overcrowd the classrooms, and don't tell them we can't fund their extracurricular activities. Ladies and gentlemen, go to the Woodlands. They have lots of money, and the majority comes from grants. There are grants out there, just throw up in the air. They are there. And we can focus to get those grants to help our children. So making sure that a child that can't go to a tournament or a competition across the country will be able to, because we're going to fund it. Take care of the children, because these children are going to take care of your community. Otherwise, we're going to drain this community of brain, and it will go away from us. So customer service, provide them everything they need, and they'll stay with you. They won't go anywhere. Thank you.
a quick answer is marketing. We have been successful in regards to marketing the district because we have amazing teachers, amazing staff at BISD, amazing folk at the front office staff at each of our campuses. The problem is the marketing is really, really sucked. You know, for a while, you know, we were out there saying, you know, believe in BISD. That was a logo brought up by former board members. I don't know who brought it up, but let me tell you, most of the individuals here in the community have stopped believing in BISD. And they've stopped believing because we as a community have received many promises from board members or the different administrations out there that have not come into fruition. I think one of the candidates made mention in regards to the buildings that are in disarray and decay. And you let them go in decay so long that it's unsustainable to maintain them or to bring them back to life. You know, for far too long, the district has been lying to the community. You know, we promised back, what, 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, that we were going to build the students of Brownsville, the community of Brownsville, a performing arts center. You know, we put away 53 million of our dollars, the community's dollars, to pay for that performing arts center. We get no performing arts center. And then it gets worse. You know, recently, you know, the administration goes out there, the majority of the board goes out there and says, oh, well, you know, we're going to give away, because it's a giveaway, we're going to give away Cummings to the city of Brownsville. Because they're going to, you know, put up the little animals and it's going to be giraffes and elephants. And that was a lie too. There were no animals. I was at the press conference, folks, and every single board member there that spoke said that it was for the zoo. It's for a hotel. It's for a hotel. And they say, well, we're going to build a CTE center that's amazing. It's not going to happen, folks. It's not going to happen. It's a lie. Administration lies, board members lie, because at the end of the day, it goes back to the root of the problem. Putting money into vendors, into individuals that continue to feed off this community. And the only way it's going to stop is if we start telling the people the truth. Not what they want to hear, not these little candy-coated answers that most people give out there, but the truth. We've got to stop the bleed.
So what are the biggest issues and how do we confront it? This right here. AOB, RGV Jumpstart for Public Education. We've been doing this like 3 years already. I did this for 2 years, going out to the community, picking up surveys, going out to the local supermarkets and talking to the patrons there as they come out. Not when they go in, because they're all right, but when they come out, we talk to them. We have our surveys asking them questions. What's important to them? What are the concerns? Where do the kids attend? And sometimes we have kids from parents that have their kids at the charter schools, and we talk to them. Always, what I did when I was there promoting the public education and promoting our AOBE Jumpstart for public education, what I did was I collaborated with Face and Moody to get information from BIC. So at the same time, we're doing this and we're asking questions, we're promoting BISD. And that's what I did all the time for 2 years. And that's what they continue to do. And so we need to continue doing the best we can, promoting, because we have amazing teachers, we have amazing staff, and everybody's, I mean, they're working, sometimes they're overworked, but old school was like 12 hours, 13 hours, no problem. Because we'll teach all day long, and then after school's over, we're coaching till 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And so pulling together, doing the best that we can, and publicizing it, very important. The campaign, the media campaign, not just in KBSD, we need to do this, Channel 4, Channel 5. We have some bulletins out there, some campaign signs. I mean, not the campaign sign, but the signs out there. But we need to continue doing this, Televisa, Univision, and keep on promoting public education and bring those kids back to the amazing BISD.
Thank you. The biggest issues that we have, and everybody's been addressing it, I believe we have to emphasize, continue to improve and address school safety concerns. We know what's going on in Florida over there. Continue to improve on the CCMR, the Career College and Military Readiness. Focus on, and it was mentioned earlier, smaller class sizes, helping the teachers, helping the students. It's all fits in. Continuation of improved school district marketing was brought up earlier. student mental health and well-being, improved technology in school facilities. Our technology isn't in par where it should be. And an emphasis again on extracurricular activities and most importantly, advanced academic programs. And of course, surround ourselves with competent people. If we hire competent people, we don't have to put so much pressure on the people below. If you hire incompetent people, they require too much work. They spread all their workload on the lower people, and it creates a tyrant. So if you're surrounded by competent people, you will be okay. Thank you.
One of the biggest issues I see is not so much the customer service area, and it's not so much telling the teachers and raising, because you know what? The teachers have the biggest hearts and are the most generous people in this district. I've worked with many of them. Are they being treated badly by by BISD's board and administration? Yes, yes, they are. You want to bring students back? You're up against a big fight, people, because children, just like us, don't like change. They've already been transferred, they've accommodated themselves there, they're used to their friends, and then to try to move them, good luck. But the parents, you want to try to convince the parents, I'm going to tell you one of the biggest issues that they're concerned with, safety and communication. Safety because they have the perception that they don't have security guards at the charter schools, no sense. What they do is they have their parent volunteers and part-time workers there. It's the perception of safety. When they have an issue, que, mijito, ¿qué pasó? Why? ¿Por qué estás así? You know what? They can call the teacher up till 8 o'clock at night and ask, what do you see? That's what parents like. They like that feeling of connection. We don't have it. We could have it. And that's something the board would have to instill. Talking, communicating, and working with each other. Because at this time, they're not doing that. You have two factions up there, and it's not going to, if it continues, you can kiss BIZ goodbye, because everyone's going to leave. But if you want to address it, and this is wonderful, AOB has now a committee. Take your surveys. Believe me, I talked to a lot of parents. I was a counselor. They tell you what they're feeling. It's the frustration of not feeling safe. Okay? But don't go back to the teachers. The teachers have done their job. So no, that's not an avenue there. You know? So if you want to recall these students, you're going to have a hard time because the kids are just like us. You know, we don't like change. Unfortunately, we have to do it. Sorry.
When I was a principal, I had certain roles to play. As a future, probably as a future candidate here for the school district, there's a different role that we play. Any one of us up here makes it there. We cannot afford to mingle in the day-to-day operations of this district. This is what's happening today. To answer your question, this is not a board role. This is something that is more of an administrative. Somebody mentioned it down the table here. It's more of an administrative team function. The administrative team should be developing committees at all levels. Everybody, all of us have to learn from each other. This ensures that the community provides us, the stakeholders, provide input. This plan has got to come to the board to ensure that our district maintains our students here. I left the school system. I left Garden Park with over 600 kids. They're down to 300. And we've been mentioning it's about management. It's about management. I know. I spent 40 years in this business. We've got to have people at the district monitor this plan, and we've got to make sure that this plan is being taken care of year and year like anything else. Right now, we've heard from a candidate here about a bond election. Folks, that's the wrong step. I know money. I manage money for 30 years. And I'm going to tell you, they're sending us down the dark hole. Don't let that bond election come in 2025 a reality. We've got to start listening and paying attention to what's going on. Thank you.
Okay, number 3, we will begin with Ms. Rocha. Would you consider bringing back the annual step increase to the salary pay table? And if so, how would you go about bringing it back?
I remember well the annual step increase. I remember downloading it every year and looking, okay, this is where I'm gonna be. It was easy to read. I have this extra classes in my master's program, so this is gonna be what I'm gonna get, okay? And then, oh, next year, okay, I stay with BISD. So getting that step is a motivational tool. It's a tool that HR can use to keep their teachers engaged, active, motivated, wanting to come back year after year to do the quality job that our educators are doing right now. They're doing a lot right now with the little that unfortunately upper administration is without that support. If given the opportunity, this, as part of the board, yes, I think it needs to be seen. I think parents need to also see, hey, my teacher with the kid with my student's teacher gets this much. Yeah, I can expect something. I also think while we're at it, we might as well let us know exactly what I can ask of that teacher as a parent. Grandma, what can I ask? Let's have some job descriptions there too. What can I ask of the principal? What can I ask of the area administrator? What can I ask? I'm the consumer, I'm the parent, I'm the grandma. I want to be able to go and say, hey, so along with the annual step, maybe let's include that. Just might help. Thank you.
Yes, salaries have to be prioritized. And to look at this, we need to address it and see how we can adjust it to make sure that we have the money and the funds to take care of the teachers and give them an incentive to be able to stay with the school district. We need to look at I'll call you all colleagues, because we are from the same community, fighting for the same community. We need to make sure that we look at priority. Please forgive me, and I'm stepping on toes. We get consultants to come and talk to the teachers to see, how you're having today, blah, blah, blah. And talk to the parents, hey, isn't it nice out there? The sun's shining. When it doesn't shine, go home, watch TV. Let's look at what we can do without, and we can use our own personnel to do the job instead of getting outside sources and burdening our budget on paying stuff that we can really do without. So we can bring all of this back, but we need to be fiscally responsible. It's very, very important because I could get said it again. I'm going to say it till God calls me home. The teachers are the priority. Give the salaries to the teachers. Give them the best. Take care of them. And when they have extra activities, give them money to go and get incentive to be for that extra activity for giving up their time. We can do it. We can have the highest salary in the county. We can do it. We got the budget. We got the money. I was raised in a family that says money is number 4. It's God, family, community, and money. And money never leaves. Money's been around before all of us got here. Money won't be around when all of us get called home by God. It used to be chickens and cows. You give me your chicken, I give you your cow. Now it's different. It's changing. But money's been around and money will be around, which means the money is there, but we have to be fiscally responsible. And what the problem is that we need to focus and take care of the teacher and pay them the proper salary to make sure we get the best teachers in the community so they don't have to live and do part-time jobs to be able to make it at home. That is wrong. And we have the money, but we have to prioritize the salary for the teacher. Take care of the teacher, they take care of the student, you take care of the community. I'm going to say that until, it gets done. Because until that gets done, we're going to have a problem. So priority, 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 teacher salary. Take care of them, they'll take care of you.
Well, the question in regards to bringing back the annual step increase, look, I'm not in favor of anything that puts more money into the individuals that most deserve it in our district. But unfortunately, we constantly see an upper administration, a top-heavy administration, spending money on things that they should not be spending on. Someone made mention of the superintendent's over $400,000 salary. It's ridiculous. And then you've gotten with AAs at every corner of the building. And that's very, very unfortunate. Because at the end of the day, most of those individuals that are hired at the top that are supposed to know what they're supposed to be doing, they don't. And that's evident just in this past meeting that they had. I mean, you go down that list, that agenda, and it's all full of consultants. Why are we hiring so many consultants? And folks, this is your money. This is staff's money. This is our community's money. It's on the agenda. It's her money. It's on the agenda, guys. It's right there. I'm not making this up. But because I'm the loudest and I complain most about it, besides other board members out there that they're concerned about it as well. Guys, it's your money. And the more money that they take, that they make, and they pocket, the less possibilities of our staff and our teachers getting funds. It's that simple. It's not complicated. It's not sugar-coated. It's not, well, this is what I'm going to read and this is exactly what I prepared. It's the fact. And the fact of the matter is we're top-heavy. We're spending money where we shouldn't be spending. We're spending it on consultants. We're lying to the community about what a great job that we're doing. We are not. Upper administration at BISD is not doing a great job. They are taking away from you to give to the vendors who are purchasing signs and advertising for board member candidates who will only serve the vendors and never you.
Amen.
So as a retired teacher, I remember back in the day, we used to go, if I wanted to know how much I was going to get for the coming year, I'd go to the website and go under teacher, see how many years I had, and the following year, how much money I was going to be receiving. And so all of a sudden, it's taken away. The last superintendent that we had, it disappeared. The equity as far as the money being paid out went haywire. So what we need to do, and I'm in support of making it being transparent and having it back on the website, but not only for our certified employees, but our classified employees. So we have a bus chauffeur, a bus driver that is wondering, okay, how much am I going to get next year? Goes to the website, checks it out, and he knows exactly how much he's going to be getting. Of course, we have our annual pay raises and stuff, but that's here and there, and they're able to call someone, administration, HR, and get a clarification on the next year. In regards to just clarifying on the bond issue that's been brought up at the board meetings. So I encourage each and every one of us, myself included, if we have a concern, we all have an opportunity to speak up, speak out, and loud in public audience. Get there about 15 minutes before, sign up, and speak, and have your voice heard. Thank you.
Of course, I'm in favor of a raise for all the teachers and paraprofessionals and all the people. I'd like to evaluate the financial feasibility and include a representative, of course, of all the stakeholders and have a discussion with AOBE and find out how we can do this. And the big buzzword, and I like it, is transparency. I love transparency. But is it, like somebody says, is it the facts? I would like it to be a fact. Can we be transparent about it? Have a committee analyze current compensation trends, include union collaboration. Develop a phased implementation plan, ensure transparency and communication, and make adjustments as needed. And potential positive implications of reinforcing the annual step increase system. Of course, it's going to be positive. So yes, I'm in favor of bringing back the step system. Thank you.
There's no question to if the step should be in place. It should have never been taken off. There's years that we'll get a raise, years that we don't, but that step should be in place because we all need it. Anyway, what was it again?
Yeah, to bring it back.
Okay, now getting there, guys. Communication is not just the organizations, it's your members. It's all teachers have to communicate with the board members, get the message across. This needs to be put into a committee. The board members are the ones that are gonna guide the head. They're the neck of this district. So if they decide, let's put this in committee, recommend money, don't be fools, the money's there. Don't even think about it. The money's there. It's just in savings accounts. The fund balance. Well, you know, the fund, it's not too fun to me. Anyway, get those committee members, or I'm sorry, your members, the teachers, to talk to the board members, get them to bring this up and support it. Not just one, two, but all of them. Contact all of them, because we don't know anymore who's for it, who's not for it. But if you make enough noise, they'll listen. Put this back in committee. It's passed to the administration, it's passed through the board, and it goes back into budget. The step is easy to get. But you gotta work at it. And it takes time because you get, you can't be shy about talking to the board members. You've got to be able, don't just send them an email, call them. That's what they're there for. They volunteered for this thing. They volunteered for the abuse. Well, okay, bueno, take it. Don't complain. No me cuentes tus problemas. Do it. That's the way we're gonna get things changed here. And you know what? I'm glad because my muffle has been removed. I used to be afraid of saying anything because retaliation, you know how that is. But then I realized it's like, I'm shitty. I'm free.
Very good, Mr. Andalusa. I'm going to answer very quickly. The answer is yes. We have inflation at a 7.5%. You go everywhere and everything is more expensive, yet our teachers are not being compensated appropriately. We were once the shining eye in the entire valley with salaries. Growing up into this profession, I was a benefactor of that. Today, that is not the case. I am very concerned. Our teachers, like I said earlier, are leaving this business in big numbers. You wait till December comes around. I said this at my meet and greet on the 24th of August. There's a department that's going to be leaving there's about 8 or 9 of them. It's going to hurt this district dramatically. They're fed up. My son worked for this department when he was back in high school. Now he's earning more money than they are. Bigger money. And I cannot believe that. I have to tell you, if we operate in a deficit of over $20 million, I'm very concerned. We're spending money like Washington, D.C., left and right. There's no ending. We're also seeing a lot of things being added to recently. We just added more positions to the top. What happens to the schools? Folks, this is alarming. Compensation's got to be something, but I also have to tell you, I'm kind of getting concerned because we're getting close to that threshold that we're required to have in the emergency fund. The attitude is, it's a biennium year. They should be giving us more money. Wake up. This governor doesn't need to give you anything. We have to adapt, and this administration and this board is definitely not adapting. We better be careful.
I myself was an employee for BISD, so I understand the increase for every employee in BISD. I know the challenges that we all have as employees, and sometimes we're asked to do more and our salaries don't go up, but yet the cost of living goes up. I believe that if we were to have remember, you have your board members, the superintendent, and then the rest of the administration. We're top heavy with administration. It hasn't gotten any less. We're spending money with a lot of consultants. That got stopped back when I was a board member because I did not agree to that. When I got elected to be a board member, there was $2 million just in consultants with attorneys. We did away with that. The district hired an in-house attorney. Okay, so there's a lot of things that can be done. At the end of the day, this election, BISD shall elect, shall elect the right leadership that will emphasize to the top administration what is expected. Once they have a plan, they have direction, and they understand the budget well enough to say, we have the money. Remember, we receive money from federal, we receive money from the state, and we receive money from our local taxpayers. And if we cannot survive and we don't comprehend what our priorities are, that every money needs to go into the classroom for our educators and for our students, then the citizens aren't worthy of our leadership, nor are they worthy of paying taxpayers' dollars to a superintendent that's making over $400,000. Good leadership, good results. And we will become the district that we were a while back. This district was the district, the envy of the valley, the desire of the valley. Let's get it back.
Okay. All right. The next question, we begin with Ms. Minerva Peña. How do you plan to prioritize and allocate the school district's budget to ensure that all students have access to a high-quality education and resources, especially in underfunded schools?
Okay, one thing that disturbs me about this question where it says underfunded schools. We should have no underfunded schools. We need to prioritize and make sure every school gets the equal amount of money and resources to serve their children. Not because you're on the north side of town, you have more teachers, less children in the classroom, and on the south side of town, you have less teachers, and the school's size class is over, completely over. We need to make sure that we see and we maintain and take care and make sure that every school has everything they need. They lack for nothing. We need to focus on that and not just focus on certain schools who have certain people who they might look up to and want to make sure they take care of them because they have the, please forgive me for saying this, the parents that make the most noise. No, let's do it for every school. And we can do that by making sure that somebody monitors where the funds are going and how the students are being served. It's very, very important because there are parts of town where if we don't give the schools everything they need, those children will not flourish. And we don't know if in that school district or in that particular school, we didn't develop the education for the child to develop what he was meant to be in life. We are failing our community because we could have our next rocket scientist sitting in that school, but nobody developed it. Nobody gave him the time or the space or the ability to be able to flourish, to become the person he was meant to become. So we need to monitor very closely that every school gets everything they need, not just because it has certain children from certain prestigious people that we got to take care of them. We need to make sure that everyone understands that everyone is going to have it across the board. If we do it for school A and we take care of their kids and we fund all of their projects and extracurricular activity for school A, we're going to do it for school Z. Because that is our responsibility, that is our job to make sure we take up everybody equally. Because when we do that, then all our schools will succeed because you never know when the next rocket scientist is going to come out of what school. And we have excellent schools all over town, especially in the south side of town, with children who are flourishing and making us so proud. Go and research all the people that came out of that area. We have several superintendents that came out of that area. So thank you. Remember, equal across the board, everyone. Thank you.
As a student of BISD, one of the greatest things for me growing up here locally was going on these field trips we used to go on. You know, they were just so amazing. Because for a lot of us back then, and a lot of our students now these days, you know, if it wasn't for sports, if it wasn't for DI, if it wasn't for all these amazing programs that BISD has, you know, they never know what it is to travel to San Antonio, to Austin, Houston, even to other states, you know. Some of them, you know, have a hard time understanding what it is to order at a restaurant. You know, that's just the facts of the matter. And unfortunately for us, they've been dwindling in regards to the funding of these specific programs. I mean, not even to mention special education, you know, it's been getting gutted. You know, it has been gutted. And it seems that the budget is focused on things that are the most least important, and that which is what we all, as board members, former board members, or individuals that are now serving the board have promised to do, protect our most vulnerable, most needy here in our community. Again, going back into the audit, we desperately need an audit in order to find out and to show the community where it is that we're bleeding these money. But most of us know where these monies are going. These monies are going to the individuals that are least deserving of them in our district. That's just a fact. We need to find out where we're bleeding these monies. We need to redirect all these funds that are going to upper administration, pet projects, upper administration, and into the vendors. We got to funnel that money back to our students, back to the individuals that are most needed in our community, that most needed here in our community. And that is going to be the job of AOBE, the job of other teacher associations, and the job of us as community members as a whole. We've got to fight for our most vulnerable individuals out there.
Thank you, thank you. We need to continue prioritizing for our students at the very minimum, because they are our future. And so to do that, I started thinking about, I know you've heard about coffee with the superintendent, but we need to have something like that, coffee with the board members. So they can come into the boardroom in a very informal situation, have some sweet bread, just like right here, have maybe some taquito or some finger foods, drinks, and sit down with board members and talk with them. Not only our public, because we need to hear from our constituents, but we also need to hear from the associations. Also make it a point that we have allocated time for each association so we can hear the concerns. What are the feedback? What is it that they might have some useful, some good information to share with the district so we can continue the best that we can for our students. It's very important that we bring everybody into the group, into the fold, into the loop, and move from there. If we don't start bringing in our parents, because we know our parents, they're valuable assets. And without our parent support, we're not going to have our students. But we know, like I said, we have the best teachers, we have the best employees at the district, at the campuses. But what do we need to do? We need to bring in the parents and grow from there. And also incorporating our CTE program, because that's important, bringing in the businesses. Because we do have a lot of partnerships, but we need to continue growing our partnerships with our different entities, not only with big companies, but with the city, with the county, and also advocating very much so for our students. Thank you.
It's the same for me. Students should be number one. I think about it. I was substituting a few weeks ago, and I go to these campuses, and the desks that they have, they're dilapidated. Some are broken. They just put them out to the hall. It's ridiculous. You go to a campus and the teachers have to fight for, they call them a cow, computer on wheels. Hey, can I have a cow today? Can my kids have? And I'm thinking, why don't these kids, everybody have a computer? Not necessarily to take home anymore because we're out of COVID, but to have them readily available for all the students. That to me is important. Desks are important. Teachers are important. The paraprofessionals are important to me, but the number one reason we're here, customers, our students, we got to serve them. I think it's a no-brainer that the students are number one, period. We could go on, but, we could include teachers, and we talked about having coffee. It's real simple. When I love to substitute because the teachers will come right up to you. Mr. Trevino, do you know what my concerns are? No, I don't, but what are they? English, math, science, history, they all have concerns. If we just listen instead of talk all the time, we can find out what's going on. But we need to go to the campuses or, as was mentioned, have them come to us. Hey, you can come to us at any time. You have our phone number. We're available. What are your concerns? I really wouldn't like to go to the main office because I don't know if they know what's going on. But when you go into the campus, you know what's going on. So I'm at a campus and they replaced the tile. The roof's still leaking, but they replaced the tile. I don't know if they understand construction. It's still gonna, water's gonna come through, the tiles are gonna break, but I think that's a policy, just replace the tile. But anyway, students, number one, thank you.
That's true. I had watch it fall into my house. I remember that experience. And then just replace the tile. Anyway, guys, first thing, policies. Whenever anything happens, it has to happen with the board. If the board votes in to prioritize what goes to the campuses, the schools are gonna be taken care of. There'll be no underfunded schools. That's a priority. But the board, like I told you, they're the neck. They're going to turn the brain and the head of the main leader, which is our superintendent. Now, knowing that, we need to take care of our students now. We talk about them leaving. Well, let's prevent them from leaving. Keep them here. And how do we keep them here? By making sure that our campuses are well-funded, that our teachers are well-funded. Those are priorities. Because if you want to bring the kids back, don't lose them. Find out where we're having a problem. Fix it. Stop bleeding. That's like if I cut you and you're bleeding. No. Well, put a bandage on it. Do something. Put pressure. That's the whole concept here. Where to heal? If this district is to go anywhere, it's going to have to start now. Try to bring back what you can, definitely. But stop losing the kids. We need them. And if we need them, you're going to fund those schools. That's the priority. Y que no hay dinero. There is money, guys. Don't believe the idea that there's no money. There is money. And if you want to go out for a bond, then you better know exactly what that bond is going to be spent on. Because once it's there, they have the money, it seems to be reallocated, like Mr. Castro said. You know, we paid $50 million for something, y que nada. Where did that money go?
Audit.
Exactly. Whenever, and it was mentioned at the board, whenever an administrator moves.
Counselor.
Boy, I didn't know where that existed or where that's coming from. I hadn't seen that action from you. First of all, we've been seeing this movie for the last 2 years on this board. Come this November, you have an opportunity to change that. We cannot afford another 4 years of the majority on this board. I gotta tell you, I'm so passionate about this business. I can't stand anymore of what I've seen. First of all, our budgets are not being reflected. We just learned accelerated reader was cut. That's a student program. You talk about reading achievements? I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know. I think they went to the wrong educational school that I did. Now, as the principal at Garden Park, I made sure that if I didn't get the funding from the proper places, I moved my local monies to ensure I had a strong chess program. I was one of the best chess programs in Brownsville, at the region, at the state. And we even came to number 3 at the nationals one year. And I'm gonna tell you, the focus, when I hear teachers telling me, Mr. Caballero, we only get one package of duplicating paper. Wow. And in some cases, they're taking money out of their pockets. Some of us up here have been on the board. Some of us have been real good stewards of how we allocate monies. Well, we don't allocate monies as board members. We only guide the administration. That is our role as a board. Okay? There's some roles that we have to play. We do not run the district. That's the superintendent. They keep referring to this gentleman and the board as the team of 8. We're a team of 7. We manage the superintendent and the internal auditor. And we got to keep that focus, because if we don't, then any of the board members can run the district instead. Thank you.
So I'm going to echo what Mr. Caballero said. For those of us that know the process, and for those of us that know what needs to get done, Remember, the board oversees everything that's going on through the district. We cannot manage it. We cannot micromanage it. That is not our role. Our role is if they bring us the budget that we have, we question and we emphasize what is expected. And we make sure that the administration, the top administrator, understands that the money needs to go to our students, to our campus, and to our educators. Every campus has an administrator that makes a decision how they're going to allocate. Like Mr. Caballero used to be a principal. Shame on the district that's cutting funds on special ed programs and now the reading program. If they only knew the legality that they would get into if they refuse the services to special ed students. They are as equal and as needed as any other child. We are dealing right now with a lot of issues. And this election, if you don't elect the people that are going to be loud enough, strong enough as to emphasizing what is needed in our system, we're going to go down. We're going to continue to go down, guys. I decided to run for this position 30 minutes before the deadline. I was in San Diego. I told my friend, run it. If we make it, we make it. And if not, God knows it was not my time. She calls me, says, 6 minutes, sister. I made it. Okay, let's run with it. Because I care, because I have the love and passion to continue to serve in this district. Because I was a child that was once told, I'll never amount to anything. By a teacher. I've done great things in life. I've been very blessed. And I can be part of a team that can lead the district in the right direction with the right knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a picture, a diagram of our budget. This was from 2021, 2022, but they have one right now. I remember having a conversation one time with some of the previous board members that are here, asking, what does each category mean? Can somebody please explain this to me? As a community member, taxpayer, reading teacher, nobody explained. We don't know. The community doesn't know what this is. We need transparency. We need a financial audit. This, like I said, this is an older version, but they've got one. They've got a financial report, and it's got the same little picture. Different pieces of the pie. What's in the pie? What are the ingredients? What exactly is getting cut here, cut there, and moved over to this or that? During the ESSER fund money, I heard that, and I want to say I heard because I would have to fact check, but I know some counselors that had their budget, their pay was with ESSER money. Wait a minute, counselors are all the time, right? Why would you use the ESSER? That doesn't make any sense to me. I heard that reading teachers for the curriculum were paid with ESSER money. So what would I do? I think they need an audit. That word keeps coming out. A real, true audit. We also need policy. This is from 2021. That only trustees appointed to committees may participate in a debate by the committee. Trustees not on the committee may participate on the committee to the extent the public is allowed to participate. Discussion with 2 or 3 minutes on a almost $500 million budget? Are you kidding me? Where do we get to have a voice? We elected these people to be our voice. I'm ready to be a voice.
All right. Our next question and final question. We begin with Ms. Minerva Peña. No, sorry. It's my best.
You just look alike.
Yes, we're both Cuban.
But sorry, with Mr. Castro.
That's right.
What specific policies or initiatives would you implement to support teachers in their professional development and to retain high-quality educators in our district?
Well, really quick, protect the classrooms. Many teachers are pulled out of the classes to attend trainings they don't even need or want. And they understand that, there's no one better than teachers to know, what it is that they need. We need to allow teachers to travel for professional development opportunities and retain teachers by respecting their jobs. And by respecting their jobs is giving them their place, that they actually deserve. I will share a very, very quick story. And I think Anelda was there. I attended an employee benefits committee meeting as a board member. And one of the things that was being discussed was insurance.
Yep.
And, they were concerned about the insurance. It was a great concern. And they asked, what needs to be done in order to protect the insurance for our employees? And I said, easily. Remember my answer? Keep it out of the hands of the current board members. It's that simple. And I think everyone freaked out with the answer because that was a board member. And they said, what did this guy say? He said, get it out of the hands of the board members and keep it amongst the employees because the employees are going to know what's best for the employees' benefits. And it's the same with everything else out there. I'm really very concerned in regards to a lot of things that have been going on. I've been very, very vocal about them. I'll continue to be vocal about them. I pray that we decide to put an individual on the board that's actually going to fight for the things that are most important for the district. Because let me tell you, everyone's mentioned it already, we need an audit, definitely need an audit. We need to find out where the ESSER funds went. We need to find where the ELON money went. We need to find out where those $53 million went. Because all that money put together, we wouldn't have these issues in regards to teacher morale. We wouldn't have these issues in regards to underfunding of special education. We wouldn't have any of these issues because there would be enough money. So we definitely need an audit. We need to go in there and find out what they did with the money that should have gone to the teachers, staff, and to the students.
I think it's important that we understand that when we have trainings and workshops, they're good for our teachers, but not after school and not on Saturdays. What we used to do when I was at Cummings, we should have it during our planning time. Not all schools do that. A lot of schools, the principals elect to have their trainings or workshops on Saturdays after schools. But when I was at Cummings, we did it during our planning time, which is it was an awesome idea because we didn't have to stay after school. We didn't have, our Saturdays were our Saturdays. Well, when we had our Saturdays because we were grading or coaching, then it was it was ours. But to minimize, to help our teachers, to help our staff, we need to think outside of the box because that used to happen, but then it doesn't happen anymore. And so once again, we need to be able to step back, evaluate it, besides analyzing it, say, what would keep our people happy? Because when you have happy campers, you're going to have students that are going to be glowing. They're already glowing as it is because we have amazing programs and our kids are just wonderful. But that's just one, but there's other things that we can do, but we can get those ideas when we incorporate the public, when we incorporate meeting with our employees, the staff, with our board members. So they have a lot of ideas. They just need to share it. Sometimes board members, they're just limited to what they do, especially if they weren't coming from the educational part. But when we have our associations, our community members, our parents come talk to us, employees as well, then the possibilities are endless. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. I think we need to incentivize the professional development for the teachers. They already do so much. They have so much on their plate. In the summers, when the summer should be for them, we should incentivize them and send them to the best locations, the best places to get teacher development. In addition to that, I remember going with coworkers to professional development, staying at a Motel 6, 4 to a room, and all these ridiculous things. And then we had to sacrifice our weekend or week to go get professional development. And that's not very enticing. To me, tell them, look, if you guys go, we're gonna pay for everything. We're gonna pay for you, we're gonna pay for the room, we're gonna give you a little extra cash. Go enjoy it. And maybe not 4 to a room, maybe 1 or 2 to a room. Maybe, your husband, your spouse can go with you, the kids can go with you. Something very incentivized to where they feel good, they feel appreciated. I can't wait to go get my professional development because the district cares for us. This is what I feel. And of course, send them to the best professional development that we can find, not just any professional development, just the best in the country. And budget for that professional development. That's the way I feel. Take care of our teachers, they'll take care of our students, and you'll see the growth. But it's gonna be gradual. And once the word gets out, hey, no, you gotta go to the, man, number one place to stay. You're gonna love it. Kids are gonna love it. Everybody's gonna love it. Of course, they have to go to professional development, but the kids or the parent, the spouse can be in the pool, they can enjoy themselves. That's how I feel. Thank you.
Okay. Professional development, we need it, definitely. But we need to look at a certain factors here. First of all, we should not do it at the beginning, everything crammed at the beginning of the year because the teachers have a lot on their plate. The summer is a fantastic time to do this because teachers are more relaxed. But something we need to look at, the incentive, we need to raise that $35 an hour or just you're going $100. No. Pay them. Raise that hourly rate because it should be at 55 or 60. I think teachers would be happier with maybe 45, 50, but get it up there because they're working. If you're going to pay them what they're worth. That's something you need to look at. Staff development is extremely important, but it needs to be done when teachers are relaxed and not at the beginning of the year and not at the end of the year. Because there's a lot, and the teachers are being whipped to do many, many things. So you know what? No. There's times and a place for everything, but you need to pay them. You need to pay them, and it has to be a realistic pay. Because $35 an hour was great 10 years ago, but it's not great now. And then you have to pay taxes on it. So you know what? It's not a great. A lot of people don't want to do after school jobs anymore or anything because it's just the incentive's not there. They don't want to go anywhere. Forget it. And I understand that. I did after school. I did after school tutoring for the homeless kids. And yes, it was tiring, but you get to the point where you don't even care about submitting the timesheets because it's like, I want to pago nada. But you do it because they ask, okay. But realistically, what we do, what we give out of our own pockets to this area or wherever you're working, it's like you're working to get paid to give it to them. That's what you're doing. So you need to focus on certain things and the board can get this passed. Thanks.
Teaching is a profession that creates futures. We know that. We're not respecting them enough. I've asked that question and I've been in the trenches with folks that I work with. They want time away from a lot of these meetings, after school teaching, after school work. It's only the fourth week of the 6 weeks. We just started the year. They're burned out. They're burned out. I talked to principals. They're burned out. We're not respecting our professionals the way we should. We need to talk as future board members. We need to talk. We need a plan. There's no plans of any kind here. You know, I've always said, you want to retain teachers? Got to respect them. We respect them. You know, right now, our teachers are leaving the profession. I mean, they're not even making 30 years anymore. Some of them went out. And we got a lot of them going out in big numbers. We have no plan to help them, that they're going to retire with 30 years of service with 69% of their best 5 years. We got to hire a retirement specialist in our district to guide our teachers. Right now, we're bringing in third-party people to help them invest. Now, I got to take care of the teachers as well. I got to tell you that is not the best interest of the teachers. If you teach them how to invest in Vanguard Fidelity funds, and they do this for 30 years, guess what? They should have, at the end of their 30-year session, at least $500,000 in retirement plus their retirement. benefits from the state. Folks, it's time to wake up. The rules of the game are changing. It's up to us as future board members to do that. Don't forget that. November can't be here. There is hope in the horizon. I guarantee you that.
Incentives, of course, it needs to be brought back. And if we need to add additional incentives to be able to have our staff be motivated, we need to do that. The funding is there. I don't know how the steps were removed, why they were removed. It's unfortunate, but we need to appreciate our staff. The district, when I was on the board, had 8,000 plus employees. Now we're down to 6,000, between 6,000 and 7,000. And it's so unfortunate that, you know, they're working them over 40 hours. Teachers are exhausted. You know, I spoke to my granddaughter's teacher. My granddaughter goes to Paredes. She was drained. The third week, I felt so bad. I go home, I talk to my husband. My husband says something's not right in the system. He gets calls from his buddies. And coach, I got you retired. So when people start saying that, there's something wrong in the system. And your board members need to advocate for you. They are your advocates. They are the advocate for the taxpayers that are now paying up to 400% in assessed value for their properties. Okay? I have a client selling her home because her taxes went up. Board members, Mr. God bless my respects, but her taxes went up from 1,800 to 5,200. That's sad. It's depressing. We have a lot of serious issues, and if we implement policies and we put them into play and we incentivize our teachers and we put the money where it belongs and stop spreading the wealth to contractors, we're going to be back on track. I can assure you that. So make sure that this November, you elect the people that already understand the system. And there's a lot of us here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. You trust the teachers enough during a lockdown when we put our lives on the line to protect the children, but you don't trust us enough with our own curriculum that we went to college for, studied for, prepared for, tested for. We know when we need staff development. When we go to administration, we say, hey, I need to know more about Figure 19. This past board, just recently, they spent $180,000 on a vendor for a program. Who's going to use it? All I heard as a former teacher, as a former reading teacher, is there's going to be more walkthroughs. That's what I heard. How many ways, how many times can you tell me Figure 19 is in need? For those of you who do not know, that's one of the key objectives for reading. And it doesn't matter if you're a third grader, second grader, eighth grader in high school, Figure 19 is on the list. What do we need to do? We need to let the teachers come and ask for staff development. When do we need this to happen? Well, not during, for some of the teachers, they only have one off period. Isn't that by law? They're supposed to be allowed to do their lesson planning and grading and not get called in by administrators. Hey, you need to come to these meetings. We need to develop, as a board member, we need to develop policies that are equitable across the district to address these serious concerns. They're serious because it's systemic, it's a problem. It doesn't matter which campus you go to, what grade level you hit. Our teachers are disrespected, micromanaged, and they need some help. And it just trickles to the other departments, like our custodians, the bus drivers, the cafeteria workers. You trust them enough during a lockdown. When you're going to trust them for what you're paying them for. Thank you.
Well, one of these things that I really, really would like is stop repeating some of these trainings and equal treatment across the board. And it's unfortunate that people are paying attention to the budget of BISD. $500 million. Everybody, let's go knock on doors, let's go knock on teachers, let's go knock on principals. Hey, get this contract, and hey, get this, get that. Go to the teachers, tell them, is this a good program for you guys? And if it is, are you gonna pay us to come out Saturday to do the work? Are you gonna take care of us? Are you just gonna let us sit with 3 different vendors teaching you the very exact same thing and costing the district hundreds of thousands of dollars? Ladies and gentlemen, we need to pay attention that we give the teachers what they need. Talk to the teacher during the year, ask them, what do you need to training? What have you heard? Have your teachers do their own research, because we have outstanding teachers. But we need to pay attention to them because they are the teachers. They're the ones that need the training. And if we're gonna send them to train somewhere, we need to turn around and make sure we pay for their food, their lodging, and their travel. We need to respect them, because I can guarantee you that you're not gonna have any administrator at the top go through some training and not get all of that paid. We need to treat everyone equal. If you pay your administrators at the top to go pay their hotel, their food, and their travel, when you have teachers having to attend something like that, you need to pay them the same way. And look at it and not repeat it. Because their main objective is to teach. Teach the child. Teach the child. And if we focus more, I need to train the teacher, train the teacher, train the teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, look around the room. Look at our ages. When did this happen? When was education in such a mess the way it is right now? Look around the room. We're in our 60s. We were so blessed. They let teachers teach. And now we have people from the outside that are just looking to see who has money and where they can go get their money and sell their stuff and their product. No, we need people at the top to say, no, stop it there. This money belongs to the teachers and the students, and we're going to take care of it. We don't need you to come in here and sell the same product 4 different times, and the teachers are not benefiting, but we're losing the money. Equality across the board, and take care of the teachers, and go to them and ask them, what do you think you need to be trained in? Let us know so we can look for it and take care of it. Thank you.
Okay, so that was our last question. We are going to start our closing statements. Please remember, you do have 2 minutes each candidate, and we will begin with Mr. Erasmo Castro where we left off. Oh, sorry. Okay. Tim Ramirez.
One of those days.
They look alike too.
My name is Tim Ramirez, retired teacher, coach. I've been there through the good, the bad, the ugly, and the good times. I was teaching when we had the shooting at Cummings. I was coaching when my softball girls got district champs. Was there when our band students got Alt Valley. There when our choir kids was recognized for going to state. I enjoyed being an educator, a coach, and I've always been taught to serve others. So when I retired, I became a Rotarian, and the model for Rotary members is service above self. So when I had already like, this isn't easy. I've been doing it all my life. I will continue to serve. I'm not here to be served, but to serve. I humbly ask for your support and your vote. Thank you, AOB, for having us here. For everybody else in the audience for being here. Thank you for saving that time to be here. I know sometimes we get busy on Saturdays and weekends. It's the only time that we can do things. But thank you for being here. Have a wonderful weekend. God bless.
Thank you, Tim. Again, I'm Party Trevino. If you want a loud voice to represent you, I am a coach, and I don't seem that motivated, but you don't want to hear me in a locker room at halftime or we're behind, because I have a passion for kids. I've always had a passion for kids. It's the love that I have that I bring with me. And as Tim was saying, we've had the district championships. We've gone to the playoffs. We've gone to 4 overtimes and going to the state playoffs. And we've had some great teams, and we had some not so good teams. But all in all, the passion was the children, the students. And you get to learn the students, and you get to see where they live, and you get to see the poverty, you get to see the lack of love. I remember going to a student's house, and he said, "Coach, you want some breakfast? Mom's making breakfast." it's in the, anyway, it's in a poor area, but their kitchen was outside. And I was out in front to see who's gonna go to the game. And they were having breakfast outside and there was hundreds of flies all over the eggs. And I said, you know what, I already had breakfast, but, go ahead, enjoy it. And they were so sweet and the house was, dilapidated and so on, but I have a passion for it. I'm not gonna get excited right now because I get very excited. But, if you wanna get me excited, treat the kids wrong. I'm gonna come after you. Take from the kids and I'm gonna come after you. Take what belongs to them and I'm gonna come after you. That's what I represent. The people that they don't have a voice, well, I'm their voice. And I humbly ask for you, for your vote. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the opportunity for being here, AOBE. This was a great opportunity for me. This is the first time I get to actually talk. Speak without my mouth. So it feels great to talk, let me tell you. But, I'm here, I'm running. I know I joined this race late, but I just retired. But I'm here for the students. I'm here definitely for all the employees. And we need to emphasize our budget and our working together to get things done. And even if it means negotiating with the other side or this side, it needs to be done because we need to put our students and our employees first. Okay? So I humbly ask for your support and your vote on November 5th and during the early voting. Thanks.
First, let me thank AOBE for this opportunity to be here. It's my pleasure. Also, recently, we've been hearing as we move forward that people have been asking about my campaign, been saying that I was a pretty disciplined principal. Scared tactics. I want to tell you something. Yes, I'm asking for your support, most definitely. But to bring a message of unity. Now I'm going to read it because I prepared this because what I'm hearing is very disturbing from my opponent and from other people in her camp. I bring unity and I promise that we're going to work together to provide the best for students and families in our district. This can only be done by the board, the superintendent working together to view success for all our students. I'm excited about this November. We want to be the best district that we can be. There is only one way I know how to do this, and that is to put all my energy behind my name. I have a good reputation. Okay? I've heard comments that say differently from some individual who we shall see in the future on a different stage. But I don't take my name being smeared in that fashion. Also, many of you know me as my being a tough, by-the-book principal. My primary focus was always to provide children and their parents the best leadership possible. Along to my staff, I was very respectful. You ask any of my staff. That is leadership that was necessary. Okay? This young lady worked for me at Perkins Middle School. Okay? She can attest to what type of a leader I was. You can ask her after our session. My goal, my vision that I had as a principal is still the same. I am now retired. Can I finish that? I am now retired and at a different place in my life. But I want to continue to make an impact on the lives of our students. Thank you. Appreciate the audience and attention, all of you that will see me out on the campaign trail.
I'm gonna try to be real brief. Like I said, the budget is important. So my name is Carlos Garcia. I was a former board member at the BISD. I was always very adamant about questioning things that I believed that needed to be questioned. I never held back. Sometimes I got in trouble. A policy came into play And it was in place because Ms. Longoria and myself would always ask questions. So in order for us to be able to put an agenda item, it needed to have 3 board members. Unfortunately, we were outnumbered, just like Mr. Elizondo is and Mr. Ortiz. I don't know if that policy has changed or not, but policies can affect a lot of things in the system. And if we don't have the right policies in place, and if we don't focus on the education of our students, which breaks the barrier of poverty, and we all know that Brownsville has a lot of poverty, but through education and through the teachers that we have, as long as we work together as a team, I'm here to work together as a team. I've always been part of the team. That's the only way we're gonna get ahead. I ask humbly for your support. I bring knowledge. I'm very courageous. I don't hold back. I do what I gotta do. And it's not about me. It's not an I. It's a you do, I do, we do concept. It's a we. It's never an I. In team, there's no I. But when you elect the team on November 7th, this district will head in the right direction. You have people here that have love, passion, that have been inside the system, because I was an employee for BISD. But together, we'll achieve our goals, and together, we'll change what's broken, because we have a broken system right now. Let's get back our district to what we had it at one point, where we were the envy of the valley, and our teachers are the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, AOB. I can now honestly say I've been on both sides of the table, so to speak, as a board member for AOB and member and advocate. As you all know, I was an advocate for many years with the association, and I did go to Austin and help advocate over there as much as I could. And I will continue to do that, as I am still part of the organization in the retired realm. I did want to say the reason why I'm running for the school board is because I am passionate. As you know, I look up stuff and I pay attention and I watch the board meetings, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm always questioning and asking why you spend. And it bothers me that throughout the years, the first question that a board member should be asking every decision they make is, how is this going to affect the classroom? I don't care if you're putting up you're talking about those tiles. Remember, every time they go and they fix the tiles, I don't know why they don't do it on the weekend, because it interrupts my class. It's a few minutes, but remember, every minute counts. Just saying. That's why I don't understand. That would be my question. Whatever decision that would come across, how is this going to affect the classroom? Because it will make an impact. Every board decision has an impact. As I've told you all, I worked for BIC for almost 3 decades as a teacher. I'm still with my grandchildren there, family. My name is Nelda Rocha. I am running for place 5. Thank you.
Thank you. As you know, my name is Minerva Peña, and just a little bit of background. I'm a Porter High School graduate in 1976. In 1978, I earned my AA from TSC. In 1979, I earned my Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice from Pan American University. And I've been serving this community ever since. And I'm here to tell you that I'm here to advocate for the teachers, take care of the teachers, every employee, especially your custodian. Look at every school, they're spotless. I have always admired. I don't see a trash can in sight when I walk into a school, and not a piece of paper or any dirt on the floor. Look at our police officers, our security officers, how hard they work to keep our schools safe. Look at our bus drivers who become a second parent to their children. I'm here to advocate for the employees, because they're the ones that make us shine. I'm here to make sure that we push for them, we take care of them, and we focus the budget on them first. And then if there's anything left over after them, we can see what vendors you need to bring in. Because the majority of the job is already getting done, like I said. Before, years, we're little, we never had this problem. I've been a board member before for 15 years, and I served. I've had people tell me, oh, it's time to make a change. If something isn't broken, let's not fix it. This is what's happening in today's world. We keep changing it, and changing it and changing it. And we go from that to worse to what did we do? We need to focus on the people that want to help you and have no personal interest for their pocket or for their family or friends. That doesn't ever cross the line. You treat everybody equally is how I was raised. And it doesn't matter to me. I don't have to like you. And if I dislike you, that's my problem. That's how I was raised. If you do a damn good job, I'm gonna back you. The fact that I don't like you has nothing to do with the job that you do. That's how I work, that's how I was raised, and that's how I see that everything works. Because not all of us are gonna be the same people, but we have to work hard to do what is right for our community by ensuring that we prioritize the employees first. The money goes to them to take care of our community. Everything else comes in second. So thank you. I'm looking for your vote. My name is Minerva Peña, and I humbly ask that you vote for me so I can come back and make a difference and continue to serve the community and the school district that I love dearly with all my heart. Thank you.
Well, again, thank you all for holding this forum. Forums are important. And they're important because you get an opportunity to get to meet the candidate up close and, have conversations with them. I've been having conversations with AOBE for many, many years now. We've traveled on buses all the way to Austin, Texas together. I've received your phone calls at all hours of the day and all hours of the night. Always on call for you as an association, but more importantly, always on call for the community that we all serve together. I appreciate the hard work that the AOBE does for its members. I've seen it firsthand. And I received endorsements from you all before, and I'm praying that you all decide to come our way again. Because you have an individual that is proven to be a fighter for that which is right, a fighter for that which needs to be done. Boots to the ground, get your hands dirty, and get to the nitty-gritty. I wanted to say, outside of that, to everyone out there that is in the community, watching online, and to all the AOBE members, take note of the elephant in the room. You know, there's not one single incumbent here with you all today. Not one. And it may be a diss on AOBE, but it isn't. It is a diss on all the community as a whole. You know, I mean, we're chomping at the bit, every single one of us up here, to attend all these meeting greets, to attend all the opportunities in order to express to the community, what our goals are, what we plan to do, what we want to do, So at least you can hold us accountable to the promises that we made. I will say the promises that I've made to you as an association, to the community as a whole, before getting elected, I did my best to fight, and I continue to do my best to fight. And let me tell you, whatever the outcome, I will continue to be a force in this community because this community deserves better than what we've had. Thank you all.
I just wanted to say I am very thankful for this forum. You all were very respectful with our time limits. You all were very respectful with each other. That's not seen often. And so I really, truly appreciate the professionalism. The questionnaires that we sent out to you all prior, that was your ticket in. I will be posting them on our website so people can see your responses to those questions along with this video. We do have above, what's the count now?
713.
We have 713 views currently. It is going to be on our YouTube, so I will also be posting the link so people can view. It is very important that everybody know we are a democratic association, and so our members are the ones that make the choices. I am just the face of it. And so whatever our members choose, you will know on September 14th. They know I put that on the timelines for you all. We'll be sending out an email to let you know whether you got the endorsement or not. Okay? If we see at any time that you guys are on for anything or whatever, we can try to post everybody's stuff just because we want you guys to get as much exposure so that our members make well-informed decisions. Do you guys have anything else? I mean, I really, really truly appreciate we gave you guys a little some little goodies, AOB swag.
Thank you.
I really do appreciate your time. There are some people here, I'm really excited. We do have people, we do have a lot of people online that are viewing still. But the ones here you can meet with, and if they have questions, I ask that you please communicate with them. Because I'm sure that some of us have very specific questions we want to be asking. So, thank you, and those of you online, we're gonna say goodbye. And, we will be having until 1:30. If anybody online needs to come register to vote, or anybody here that needs to register to vote, they are registering outside for voters, okay? Thank you.